Okay, here we go. This is Arthur Williams, your friend and mine, broadcasting live from International Arthur Williams headquarters in beautiful Barranquilla, Colombia. You got some jets flying overhead there, Cindy?
No, but you know what? It kind of went out and came back in. I heard the sound go out and come back in.
All right, I thought I heard a jet flying over. I thought you were out on the farm. I didn't think.
I am. There's birds out there, but there's nothing else. Okay. I'm not saying that we aren't that far from Fort Riley, so we're, once in a while we'll have some helicopters, but no, it's quiet here. So.
Well, anyway, today it's August 25th. It's about noontime, and I'm just learning how to use blab, blab.im.
You left. I can't hear you again.
Really?
There you go. I hear you again.
That's really strange. Well, whatever.
I think we just need to go with it. People need to know this is how we learn how to do stuff.
That is true. Okay. Well, I know Cindy from way back. We were associated with a sort of a leading edge internet marketing company called Veritech a long time ago, and I always respected and always very friendly. And she's been in Shaklee for a long time. Cindy, go ahead, just introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, where you live, and kind of where you fit into the MLM world.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Cindy McAsey, and I live on a farm in Kansas. And I joined, I was in several, I shouldn't say several, probably 3 or 4 MLMs before Shaklee found me. I didn't find it. It actually found me. And I'm so glad when I did find the one that people can actually look at and say they've heard of it. Because with Shaklee, 50% of the people in the U.S. have used Shaklee products. So people know that. And one of the companies I was with before I got into Shaklee was Magnets. And I won't say the company or whatever, but I tell you what, farm in Kansas, Magnets did not get along. So Shaklee was a lot better fit for me. And of course, once I learned about the company and discovered all the history and everything that went on, it truly fit my lifestyle.
I think a lot of people, the MLM business has grown. I'm 70. I think I'm 71. I'm maybe a little older than you, but MLM has been around a long time, and there's probably a lot of people who've still never heard of Shaklee, right?
Especially in different countries. Shaklee's in, I think, 8 countries now, so there's a lot of growth to be had. But in the U.S., definitely, there's still, 50%, that's not everybody, that's heard of it. So there's a lot more growth to be had.
And now you haven't mentioned it yet. I remember you mentioned it earlier, but how old is Shaklee?
Shaklee started back when Dr. Shaklee invented vitalized minerals, and those are known as vitamins today. So anybody who's taken a vitamin knows about, the same thing, back in 1915. So we just celebrated our 100th year of innovation of Shaklee. The direct selling model was over 50 years ago. That was back in 1956 that it was begun.
Really?
So it's got a lot of history there and a good reputation. It's really nice when you put the name out there and you hear good things back, and that's what I like to see. So
Shaklee is actually older than Amway?
I don't know how old Amway is, so don't ask me. All I know is about Shaklee. I don't know about the other companies.
I think Amway dates from sometime in the 40s, I think.
Well, it was 1956 when Dr. Shaklee started the marketing arm, and that was in 1956. But he actually invented the vitalized minerals back in 1950.
And of course, I know they're how many products? Approximately, how big is their product line right now?
I want to say right around 200, 250. You kind of lose track because there are different sizes and different stuff with iron and without iron and everything. But I would say in the 200 to 250 range.
And what product niches are they strong in?
They are in, of course, the nutrition. That's our strong one. Preventative. I call it preventative medicine or preventative health. We want to help people get healthy and stay healthy and never go down that route, of sickness. but so they're in the nutrition area. They are in the targeted wellness areas. That would be like the healthy heart, healthy mind, you know, those areas. Also, we have our Get Clean environmental products and our healthy beauty line and our healthy weight products.
Yeah. Didn't you mention to me recently on another conversation that you have a sort of a success story with the products yourself when you did?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I just talked to about it this morning on Thursday. Yeah. When I first got introduced to Shaklee, a couple years before I got introduced to Shaklee, I was a full-time cosmetologist, and I worked in a full-service salon, and my specialty was really chemical application. That would be permanent waves, hair color, nails, that type of stuff. And I got to the point where the chemicals got into my system, and I got my system down. I would get big headaches and sinus attacks anytime I get around strong perfumes and cleaners. The doctor says, hey, you've got to get out. I was down to 82 pounds. He says, you've got to get out. You cannot continue doing this. So I left that industry, and I went into the nonprofit industry, and did not gain my health back, though. I'm still struggling to get back up to 100 pounds, which I wasn't at the time, and still doing the antibiotic route. And I did it for every 2 years, or every 6 weeks for 2 years. I did it, and it wasn't until I was introduced to Shaklee, and the lady that introduced me, she said, just try this stuff for 30 days and see if it makes a difference. And she goes, if it doesn't, I'll give you your money back. And that's kind of how I got started, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to get my money back if it doesn't work for me. And so I started, and I have to be honest, I choked those pills down for, and the shakes down for the first couple of weeks. But I tell you what, I started to feel better, and I thought, maybe there is something to this. And at the time, it took about 3 weeks. Now we have products that people notice a difference within 2 days. I mean, the technology has advanced so much, but after 6 weeks, I knew that I was onto something. And now it's been over 15 years. Haven't done any antibiotics since I began Shaklee. It's not that I don't ever get sick. It's that I know what to take not to get sick, or to get well. So I get sick once in a while, but I know how to get over it without taking antibiotics or any medicine.
Now, you said it took you three weeks, of course, in the compared to a person's lifetime, and having a choice between good health or bad health. Really, 3 weeks is no investment at all, is it? No. Well, and I think about now what I know now. If I had been on antibiotics every 6 weeks for 2 years, and if I think about that now, it wouldn't have been long, and those antibiotics would have stopped working, and they would have started switching me to different antibiotics. And so I knew that I really couldn't continue to do that. And I'm, like I said, I'm just so thankful that Shaklee came into my life when it did, and I was able to gain back my weight, get healthy, and it just is amazing. There's so many other things that Shaklee's brought into my life, and like I said, I'm very thankful for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I remember, I think of course, our original encounter was in what, for lack of a better word, was sort of a high-tech environment. And you're a real smart cookie when it comes to stuff like that. I believe you told me that Shaklee has been very successful building their business, in a manner of speaking, the old-fashioned way. Is that right? You mean like person to person? Person to person, and which is the way that you were introduced, really. Exactly. And this, you know what, to be honest, this is the way I build my business now, too. I build it online, but it's still person to person. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so drawn into these platforms like Blab and Periscope and those, because I know it's that person to person contact. I can tell you, Art, when we first met and we got to talking, and you actually became a Shaklee distributor, I believe, or member. I can't remember, member or distributor, but it was that personal connection. It wasn't like you went out and signed into a lead form and came in that way. It was because we connected and we talked on the phone, or through Skype, I think is the way we talked. Mm-hmm. And so it's still that personal connection, even though, it's the online platform, it's still that personal connection. Mm-hmm. It just occurs to me that, and you would know, because I know that you know your product so well, Economic, some people, when they get into network marketing, they think that it's going to cost them money rather than save them. I've told me a few stories over the years that we've known each other. It seems like about every 5 years, we track of each other, and then we'll make contact, and then we'll talk for a while, for maybe a few months, and then I won't see you again for 5 years. But what are some of the stories you have about how just being a Shaklee distributor, irrespective of whether or not they they want to avail themselves of the opportunity? How do Shaklee products improve a family's budget?
Oh, basically, definitely you plug in, and if you start using I'm going to start with the cleaning products. I could go on and on about all the product lines, but the cleaning products, we have a product that was actually the official Earth Day Care product for several years in a row. It's called Basic H. That was the original product. Now we have a new Basic H. It's called Basic H Squared. It's twice as concentrated. Shaklee does not believe in shipping water, so they send out everything concentrated to us. It takes 2 drops of Basic H Squared into 16 ounces of water to make window cleaners. So it's really quick. So I need to grab this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Real social.
Hello. Hey, Eddie, can I call you back in a little bit?
Look at Cindy's real executive chair there she's sitting in.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Shaklee home-based business lifestyle there that has her, looks like a very nice chair too. It's better than the little plastic thing I'm sitting in.
My chair? Is that what you're talking about? I gotta get
I appreciate the value of a comfortable chair.
You know what? My goal is to not be sitting in this chair as much. And here's the thing, that's with mobile technology, we don't have to. And that's kind of where Shaklee's going, and I've got my thing turned. So that we're going mobile. We just got a new Shaklee Connect app, so our business can pretty much be run on our phone. And that's what I'm doing with everything. I've been marketing long enough that I've done all of the, writing code, doing all that, but that's not needed anymore. And people don't feel like they need to learn to do that just to do this. It can be easy.
Cindy, since I know that you're very familiar with some of the options that people have to integrate technology into the internet specifically into their home-based business, what are some of the things that you're familiar with?
No, say that again. I didn't hear it. You kind of faded out.
Yeah, that's really strange. I don't know what that is, because all the other blabs that I've seen have been so good. But I know you mentioned to me earlier that I know because I was on them, you've done a lot of web conferences. But what are some of the things that you think are still useful in building a home-based business?
Some of the tools?
Yeah.
Definitely the social networks. Those are huge, because that's how we connect. That's how we get to know people, how we know what they do in their life and what we do in our life. That's how we get to know each other. Definitely Facebook for more of a personal reach out method. LinkedIn for more of a business reach out method. Twitter is another one. That's how we connected through Blab, is through Twitter. Social networks are huge for that. And to be able to have an event, a webinar event, the way to get it out there is through the social networks. That's how they find you.
Now, you told me that you're have just started to learn about something called Periscope. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm definitely just learning about it. I
didn't know about it in a minute or less, which maybe that's about it, huh?
Exactly. I've got to say, my first one was yesterday, and today was my second one, and I should have at least read how you turn it on and how you turn it off before I started my Periscope, but I didn't. I just went for it, and I learned. And today, I think it was a lot better, and it will get better tomorrow. And for 100 days, I've committed to do 100 days every day Periscope. It might only be 5 minutes, but I'm going to do it every day for 100 days, because I know at the end I'm going to get a lot better. That's how I started doing webinars. I think I scheduled like 5 in 1 week and just went for it. And at the end of that week, I was a lot better. And same with the Periscope. I know once I do it 100 days in a row, I'll be a lot better at it.
Now this Periscope thing is an idea. Weren't you telling me that you got this idea from somebody else at a convention or something recently?
Actually, at the convention, we were challenged to do something for 100 days to be amazing at it. And it was that challenge that I came home. Everything that I do, I kind of have to tweak it and put it into the way I do business. I live on a farm out here in Kansas. My neighbors are cows. For me to get to any larger group of people, I'd have to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours. So for me to actually build my business right here at home and have the little home parties, it's not real feasible. I'm not saying it can't be done, because I think it could be, you know, the right person, whatever. But for me, the way I do my business online, definitely this is a better platform for me.
That's interesting. Speaking of people, I know you've got an organization that goes, certainly it's very, very regional, it's national. Is your organization international?
Definitely, yes. It's in different countries, and which is nice. There again, when you build online, you're going to have, you know, people are drawn to you because they see something in you that they like and they can relate with, and there is no boundaries as far as where people live. Where are you at? Columbia now, right? I'm in Kansas. You know, there's a huge difference in miles there, but you know, we have something in common. You know,
I would say the music is probably a lot different too, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's country here mostly. Yeah.
Well, tell me, what's the how is the Shaklee training program right now? How do you train your people, and how much of the Shaklee training program do you use? Or you or how?
We have a group Skype team that is, you're probably familiar with the different teams or groups that you can put together in Skype, and that's how we communicate on a daily basis. I gave up email many years ago. Email's not a good communication tool, you know, for me. I really like Skype. I know there's a lot of people that are using WhatsApp and some of these other platforms. I say to Skype. But really, when somebody comes on board in Shaklee, we have a full step-by-step training program that they go through. And really, I'm just kind of like the mediator or the mentor that's right there if they have any questions. And they go through the program, and I'm right there every step of the way. Once they get past one hurdle, then we go in and they get more intense. We plug them into all of our different content channels, our weekly webinars. We plug them into, I have a a Pinterest board. It's a secret board that has content in there that they can use for their new prospects. It's not something that's out there public for everybody to hear, but it's just for my new people, that they can go in and they can feel confident sending a webinar all about heart health. They don't have to be the expert on heart health. We've got the experts that have done the webinars, have read the books and talked about the heart health, and they can send that to them. Actually, on the new Shaklee Connect app, it's really simple. Shaklee has several really good content videos. They're short, 1 to 5 minute videos that you can, with a tap of a finger, you can text message it to somebody or email it to somebody. So that's all right there in the app. Like I said, Shaklee's going mobile, I'm going mobile. So that's all of this is, you know, just we're all kind of in the change to go completely mobile. Not that you couldn't access it from a laptop, you could, but to be able to access it from your phone, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned heart health. Is our heart-related products and heart health issues a strong point in the Shaklee product line right now?
I wouldn't say necessarily any stronger than brain health or life extension. That's probably our newest, I guess, results in some of the studies that we've done. They came out at convention, and they had done a year ago. They introduced the telomeres. I don't know if you've ever heard about telomeres. And that's kind of getting a little technical there, but basically telomeres are when they get so short, you die. And they have been able to study that there are ways that you can keep your telomeres longer and healthier. And what they did is they did a study between Shaklee users, and the average age, I think, was 80 years old in Shaklee, because, you know, Shaklee's been around a long time.
Average Shaklee user is 80?
No. In this study, the average age, I think it was 60 to 80. Maybe it was 60. I shouldn't actually say that unless I have it in. I could probably look it up here. If you hold on just a second, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
To make sure I'm saying the right information. You know how it is when you go to conference, you get all this information, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, overall.
Where did you go on this conference that you just came back from?
We went to Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we flew into Cleveland. So anyway, the telomere study, they did a study on, and they used Shaklee people that are using all the Shaklee products, and I think the average age, I want to say it was 68, it was older, and then that was the one control group. The other control group was people that had healthy lifestyles, that were non-smoking. Some of them were supplement users, some of them weren't supplement users, but none of them were Shaklee supplement users. They were other company supplement users. Mm-hmm. And the average age was 40. And they were San Francisco healthy people. And they compared the two. And the Shaklee people had 40% lower, it says 40% lower than a healthy control group. Basically, their telomeres were longer, and when it came out in the end, and I guess here, I don't think you can see that, can you? Probably. Well, but I can get you the information. Basically, you know, Shaklee came out smelling like a rose, and they were able to, after doing that study, they were able to come out with some really strong language that I was surprised at. As you know, we've been around different multi-level marketing companies for a while, and sometimes they'll say things, and then the FTC will come back on them. And I am so excited that Shaklee can come out and say, and they approved it through legal, that we have the best, most comprehensive nutritional system in the world.
Wow, that's pretty strong.
And yeah, it's very strong wording. And so when we can help people live long, or feel younger longer.
Yeah, cool.
Or live younger longer.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. There's a health span and there's a lifespan, and you know, sometimes people can live a long time, but they're maybe in a nursing home that lasts 20 years.
Yeah.
And what Shaklee's goal is life extension, but healthy life extension.
Mm-hmm. Cindy, you've been around the business for a long time right now. If it was up to you, which of course I realize it's not, but what do you think? What do you think are some of the things that MLM, the industry, should change, if they should change anything? Because obviously Shaklee has been around for a long time and they know what they're doing, and obviously they're doing things right. But what have you learned the right way to build a business, the right way to run a company?
So you're talking about the company, what they should change, or what the industry should change? Well,
the company, the industry. So in my mind, it's the same thing. Because there's a lot of companies, of course, in the business, and they come and go. So what is it that the ones that don't survive, what is it they're doing that they should not do, that obviously Shaklee already understands that?
I think a lot of times a new company comes in, and we've seen this happen. They grow like gangbusters, but they don't have the financial backing to back it up to be able to sustain that growth, you know, and then it all just goes belly up. I've seen that happen with several companies. And, you know, one nice thing about an older like Shaklee MLM company, we were purchased by a billionaire back 10 years ago, and we have the financial backing. We don't have to worry that that they aren't going to be around. We know we've got that financial backing.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's cool. Well, Dr. Shaklee has he's graduated to meet his maker several years ago, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And I think it was like in, I want to say 70 or 80 or something. I'm not sure. It was before my time. Yeah.
I see. But was he active all the way up until the end with Shaklee?
I think so. From my understanding, I actually have a slide share. It's kind of like a little storybook of the 100 years of Shaklee. And it kind of goes through all the different years and times and stuff. But yes, I believe that he was. I know that his kids were also involved for a short time. And then it went on to the stock market and went, with a traded company on the stock market. And then Yamanouchi Pharmaceuticals purchased them. And they're one of the largest Japanese pharmaceuticals. And that's where we got a lot of our early technology and our early research that nobody has. We've got patents on stuff that makes your head spin. This new product line, the Life Plan, it has 34 patents and patent pending in it. Wow. Nobody else has that. It's like when you try to compare, you can't even compare any other supplements out there because there's no comparison when you've got 34 patents.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Isn't some of your family, or aren't some of your family members involved in the business too?
Yes, I've got two sons that are both involved in the business, and that's how they have that money that comes in month after month. Neither of them are full time, but my one son, it definitely helped pay his part of his expenses and stuff through school. And, now he's continued to build that Shaklee business and continue coming in. In fact, that was him on the phone. It might seem little to some people, but, that income coming in wasn't a lot. It was about $600 to $700 a month when he was in college. But you know what? That's a lot to a college kid. And it paid for his rent. And I can still remember sitting in the chair waiting for him to go to graduation. And his roommate was moving out. And his dad was standing there with a great big TV and was getting ready to move his son home. And I can remember having this conversation with him. I said, well, I bet you'll be really glad to get Andrew home. And he said, well, I know one thing. I'll be glad not to have to pay for this rent anymore. And that was like a big aha moment for me because I knew that rent would continue, that money for rent would continue to come into Adam's account month after month after month, and it has. And he's earned over $100,000 in this business now, and it's all part-time.
Wow.
And so that's how finding a good company, staying with it, and doing the right things month after month, how it can turn around for you. So
it brings up another interesting thing there. You, as a mom, are you a grandmom yet?
Yeah, we got 4 babies. Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's nice, and they're close. That's another nice thing. They're close to home. They're within 7 miles of me, so it's really nice. I see them usually at least once a week, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week.
Well, having kids involved in the family, the quote unquote, the family business. Mm-hmm. Can you describe the joy in that? Because so many parents, people who understand some of the terminology about societies and so forth, we know that the U.S. is a very mobile society. And
I couldn't hear what you said. There you are again.
It's not as easy for families to stay nuclear anymore. So how would you describe the feeling that you have of being a Shaklee mom with kids in the Shaklee family too?
It's a very wonderful feeling, and I might have told you the story. I still remember when I went on my first Shaklee trip that I'd won, and they flew us out to California, and we went to the dinner that first night, and I can remember the big banquet table, and it was, of course, me and my husband were looking for some place to sit, and the table was pretty much full, but there was a couple seats open. I said, let's go over here and we sat down at the table, and there was people, they were all different ages. And we didn't realize, we just thought, okay, just, different groups of Shaklee people. But I didn't realize that was another aha moment for me. We sat down and got to talking, and it was all one family, several generations. And that's the nice thing about Shaklee. When you go to conventions or you go to some of these, it's several generations. There's some Shaklee organizations that it's 5 generations deep. It was started by great-grandma, and it's been passed down. And so that's kind of my why, is to be able to build something. If you're going to work anyway, to have the income coming in and stuff, but if you're going to work and build something, you may as well build something that you can turn around and pass down to your kids. Yeah. And they have that. And so that was a huge, huge why when I saw that. It was like, oh, aha, this is it. This is what I want to do. So.
That's cool. I see. I don't know if you can you see up on the top right now that it says?
Yeah. Hello, whoever joined us. I don't know who it is.
Max Weinstein, Maximilian. Yeah, he looked happy face there. Social media consultant and trainer based in Nueva York. Yeah, Max. Hello, brother. I lived in New York City in 1973. My first year out of graduate school. Lived on East 47th Street. Beautiful place if you can afford to live there. Cindy, look, I know you've got a busy day. Tell me a little bit about, as a home-based business with Shaklee, and especially being out there in the country, what is your average day like?
Well, I usually start pretty early because I'm an early morning person. That's when the chickens get up, I get up pretty much. I usually come in online and do a little bit of social media posting. Information that I really like when I look at, and there's a lot of different social media people out there, but I love Guy Kowalski. Is that how you pronounce his name? You know who I'm talking about? Kawasaki. Yeah, Guy Kowalski. How he basically shares other people's content, and I've really kind of gotten into that. I usually comment or add something to it, but I do a lot of that. I do that sharing first thing in the morning. Then I generally turn around and follow up on phone calls or anything that came in overnight, emails and stuff, follow up on that, get those orders put in, drop shipped out. Then it's time to go out and milk the goats. And that's about the time I talked to you this morning, and I was getting ready to head out and get chores done. And so I headed out and got chores done. And my new 100 Days to Amazing is after I get the goats milked and they're just out grazing on grass, that's when I will be doing my Periscope. Every day, and so that's going to be my new routine. I'm adding that into my routine. Then I come back in, and I'm usually on either Facebook Messenger, Skype chat, or on the phone. Then through the afternoon hours of the day, and I usually close my day out by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of my day, typical day. But if I have something going on, I might be gone in the afternoon. My goal is, like I said, to have my business completely through my phone, and I'm working that way real quick here.
Tell us about your farm.
Our farm, it's a simple farm. We live a very simple life. Nothing fancy. We have trail mules. Those are the great big 16, 17 hen mules.
12 mules? No,
trail. Like to ride on a trail. They're big. It's not like your typical mule. They're real big. Okay.
Are those the kind of mules that pulled the 20 mule team borax type of?
Could be. They're big. I guess that's how it's not like the ones that just stand this high. I can't look over their back. I mean, they're tall. They're big. We have the trail mules, and we have, of course, our goats and our baby goats, and we have chickens and dogs and cats, and it's the life that I used to dream of when I was in the corporate world. When I was flying around everywhere, I dreamed of just staying home on the farm. And I created what I really wanted to do in life. And I'm living that dream now, to be able to stay at home. And it's my choice to go out and milk. I don't have to go out and milk. We don't have to have goats. But that's the choice that I've chosen.
What's the biggest drawing card, the thing that draws people to network marketing over the years, do you think? Because you've been in the business a while.
Now, what is it? I heard it kind of went out.
What draws people to MLM type, to the industry right now? And assuming it's a good company, of course, like Shaklee. But you've been in the business long enough to have some perspective.
I really think it's the idea of entrepreneurship and to be able to work your own hours, to be able to work from home. I think those are all huge draws into the industry. Those are kind of I think those are the main things. I do feel like when you look at, especially in the U.S., I think it's everywhere, the weight of the nation, people are unhealthy. They're eating very unhealthy food, and they get introduced to some good products, and they feel, like I said, with our new life plan, you feel different. If you haven't taken it, you feel different in a day. I mean, it's not the 3 weeks that I experienced way back, 15 years ago. You feel different in a day, and that's I think a huge draw for Shaklee is because people can feel better and feel healthy and more vibrant and have more energy. And when you feel that, you just naturally want to share it. And I think that's a huge draw.
That's interesting. Well, I'm glad that I looked you up, or somehow we encountered each other maybe a month ago it was, and I'm happy to hear that you're still with Shaklee, because I know that that's a good company, and they certainly deserve good people like you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Tell me this, or anybody who might see this in the future, if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, how would they do it?
Pretty simple. Just you can either just type my name into the search engine, Cindy McAsey, or you can type in b-barefoot.com. That takes pretty much, if you put my name in the search engine and you put barefoot or barefoot talk, you're going to find me. So. But yeah, b-barefoot.com is probably the easiest way to get to connect to all of my social networks. And like I said, there's phone numbers, and we can connect and talk, that way.
Okay, now how do you spell your last name?
It's McAsey. Do you want me to type it in here? Would that?
I don't.
Is that going to show on the recording or not?
I don't think so.
Okay, shows you how much I know.
Yeah.
I have not a clue.
It would be lost in digital land someplace. So that's great. Well, That's cool. Well, Cindy, look, thanks very much. I certainly appreciate your time, and your story is certainly inspirational. I'll say that. And I wish you a lot of success in your business. If there's anything I can do in the future, again, sometime if there's ever anything else new in your business or in your life that relates to the industry, or you got any wisdom to share, certainly I'll do anything I can.
Sure. There's always new things happening. Always new things happening. So that's my thing. All righty.
I remember you were telling me about your experience with the Periscope, that you didn't know where to turn it off. Oh.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking the same thing. It's like, okay, how do we shut this thing off?
Yeah,
I see an X up here by my name. Would I do that, maybe?
And I don't think so. First thing I'm going to do, over here on the far left where it says Art Williams and MLM Life, there's a pause button. I'm going to click that.